Alright. Hope the progress will go a bit faster. Like, I'm doing so many quests, so many things, and still. I basically ran out of options to make it faster anyhow because I cannot kill faster. Like, I can't get anything to do it faster now. I already doing it pretty fast, but there's so many hordes of enemies. Demands a lot of time. So... What was fun? Yeah. I didn't finish this at the very beginning. I was kinda there, but for some reason didn't finish it after some pause. I think I finished it somewhere there and then went back. Maybe I should finish it before I will continue, so let's teleport to main stand. Why faster? Because the balance between actual content, like... okay, let's start from scratch. Killing monsters here is... I can't say that it's boring, but it's not that fun as it was in previous games, because I'm not getting any interest in loot. So I'm just killing monsters for many hours already, and I'm not getting anything interesting. So whatever I'm losing, don't give a fuck. It's not, and this is a very crucial moment for Diablo games. Basically, it's Diablo genre is genre close to gambling, very close, because you can things in chance of getting something cool and improve the way how you're doing it. It's a very crucial aspect of the game, and it doesn't work entirely for now. Whatever I'm getting, I don't care at all. It doesn't change anything, just 1% better than something, and I don't care. So, loot is king here, yeah. It's very important to have interest in the system. Stats in game, very boring and not interesting. I don't like them at all. They made many things that somewhere under the moonbeam in Wednesday, on the 1 week in the month, you get in 1% to do more damage to half that fiend or whatever. That's what the stats in this game. I don't like it. There are some straight up stunts, but they also unclear. And they also, well... I don't want to read even this, like... Lucky hit, up to 3% chance to execute injured non-elite. What the fuck is this? I don't want to even see the stats in game. I can understand such stat on legendary items that will be pretty high, like not 3 but 30% or whatever. Like some things that will be unique and rare, so it demands big description. But also stats like vulnerable damage. What is vulnerable damage? Damage to vulnerables. Okay, what vulnerability doing? I know that some skills are doing it, but I don't wanna even see this crap. It's a very tedious combination. It's kinda attempt to make it deeper, but actually it's only make it worse. I don't wanna see like half of the stunts demand some different situations. Different mobs, different their health amount and different conditions. And in summer it's a lot of condition one on another, and I don't wanna even see this crap. It's trash. It's not interesting. It's making relaxing potential gameplay. It's transforming it into like reading all this trash. It's not interesting. Yeah, it has no meaning. I don't know. Okay, for me it's just not fun. Like all the stuff that I'm getting anyway, no matter the stats, I'm studying them, I understand them, but basically all I'm getting is 1% better than what I have all the time. And mainly I'm getting not from mobs, I'm getting only from chests that I need to deserve by doing some stupid events, or I'm getting from elites. I'm not getting anything from mobs. What's the point of killing? I yesterday get achievement for killing thousands of skeletons. I'm still in first act, and I already killed thousands of fucking skeletons and I didn't get anything from them. Thousands mobs without any drop. And I killed thousands of creatures already. This is very bad balance. So it's just not enjoyable for me. It's not fun. So because of it, the balance that was turned into this infinitely spawn mobs, I each time need to run through these locations again and again to get to some point that I need. And I need to kill all the enemies so I can actually run like this, but it's stupid. It reminds me of bad mmorpg, not about Diablo, it's where it's fun to kill. I miss a skill that cannot be... This skill cannot be used when there are no enemies in your target, and I miss the skill when they didn't even move. It's annoying. I will just use this skill. So, I don't know, I'm just not enjoying killing... Again, I killed like 10 mobs. They don't even drop like white item or whatever. I was moved here? What? It's not cool. Anyway, so I don't like to just complain and so on, and as you may see through all my streams, I never do it. But here, damn, it's not enjoyable. So the only interesting part for me is the story, but story have so many flaws, so many logical problems. Like, people behave like idiots left and right, everyone. There are no logic in this, it's... yeah, it's very strange. That's what. Yeah, elites to elites, miss everyone. Yeah, because every 99% of mobs here use us. That's very bad. You're back? Yeah, I don't see any drop frames. That's strange. Well, I don't know. Anyway. So, I don't know. For me, looting is not enjoyable. So, killing mobs also not that enjoyable. I don't like my character, and I don't see any characters that more interesting for me. So, it's a very bad combination. And the only thing that is left for me most is story. And some change in fights with elites. But story have many problems, and also I need to run through huge chunks before I will get some small portion of story. So this combination makes it boring. I come from gemstones beyond the mirrors. I don't remember who is Mirrors.
That spineless merchant. Ha! This will cost him dearly.
So I need to get him from beating him, obviously. Okay, in this case, I'm afraid. My mega skills do 0 damage, so it's way better to just hit him. Just press one button to kill. I'll use ultimate as alternative. I can't say the story is good for now. It's and give me a little bit of curiosity, but too many mistakes with logic. 99% of characters behave like idiots. So that's why it breaks immersion for them. Like, I can understand that no one would behave like this. Yeah, looks like... yeah, looks like I get into the problem.
I must wait.
Yeah, looks like I can't use this blow anymore because I'm not doing enough damage, because I'm not getting better main weapon. It was 21 level and I almost 30, so it's not enough to one shot, so my tactic doesn't work anymore. And even if I'm not wasting money on anything, I don't have enough gold to buy even a white one. There's someone here. Oh, so when I moved to event, it's already finished.
Look.
they're way tougher than elephant.
Follow me. Come with me.
Wanna bring attention to me.
Look. Look. Look.
Hello.
Look. Look. Greetings.
Greetings.
So silly.
Look.
No.
Look.
No.
Look. Look. I appreciate that. No survivors. This place is overrun.
I thought he was there, but no.
The smaller growths are protecting the larger ones.
They didn't do lot of damage to me. Damn, they're doing tremendous damage to me. Why is it doing so much damage to me? They just kill me instantly. This, whatever it is, this incubator. Looks like I can damage it.
I need time to do that.
Oh, looks like I'm dead. Oh damn, that was unexpected. Can I get something? Yeah, potion would be nice.
I need more time.
Fuck. I cannot move at all. Damn that. Too much control defect.
I need more time.
I don't have any potions here anymore. And it's too many of them at once. Oh, can I go back?
I need time to do
Yeah. Damn. They didn't like twice more damage than anything else to me. Why? It's maybe the main boss room or what is it called? Dragon Stronghold. Oh yeah, I heard something that there are some strongholds, whatever it is. So yeah, Stronghold is something like a world boss maybe. Not sure, but they kicking my butt, that's for sure. I need better gear because I didn't get anything really better for a long time. All my stuff is 20 level, 18 level, 20 level, 20 level, 20 level, 22, 19 level, 21. Yeah, all my stuff is, well, very weak. Like I need way better items, but I actually constantly fighting scaled enemies. Why I'm not getting items of my level? Why are the items 10 levels lower? Yeah, I can say that it's a pretty tough one. And I wasn't with full potion, so yeah. I took the part poisoning. Wow. I'm gonna stop doing this. Honestly. I don't know, hardest not, but my equipment 10 levels lower than it should be. So, I obviously need new stuff.
More injured each day.
Actually it's possible, yeah, to teleport back to recovered churches. I didn't thought about that. Never needed this. So yeah, the only part that I like from the game is kind of raw visuals. I'm pretty immersive, and combat overall feels decent, but I still don't like the skills and I don't like the duel system. So for me, the game is like 5 from 10 for now, at the best. So yeah, maybe it will become better. I still don't get these masters. Maybe next act will be better. Maybe in future when I will get some better items, it will be more interesting to play with maybe different skills. I don't know. now it is what it is. So, I have returned with a payment.
So, the deed is done. Excellent. I knew you would prove worthy of my trust. I'm sure you've heard the new word as it spreads. We will no longer suffer at the hands of the lesser. Our strength, our might, our destiny is to triumph over the weak.
Okay. Getting some crap. I don't like gems, they do nothing. I don't like all this craftable materials, they're useless. Like, what the hell is this trash is? They give me as a reward, but I don't care what they give me. So basically I'm not getting any reward for doing this quest. The only reward I'm getting is a little bit of lore. That's disappointing. A little bit disappointing. You send maximum 25 level item. It's already better than mine in terms of level. What about weapons? Damage is not... yeah, it's only 2 levels high actually. No wonder that damage is close to the same. But the price is 240. I don't waste money on anything and I have 68. Like, what? Even if I will start selling items, well, maybe if I will sell all the items I'll get some, and maybe I should sell to compensate the level difference. Oh. What to say? Damage to close enemies. Logic is increased damage overall, or is it increased damage only for that weapon? Because these properties can be seen in stats, I don't know how it works. I still didn't get any rare item for this load, so I don't know. Maybe from this one, by the way. This one given to basic skill damage, but it's a different event. Okay. Yeah, logic gun should affect everything, like strength, for example. And if I'm not using these weapons right now, it still should affect character.
Good. What else you got?
Yeah, it starts selling, maybe I'll get some gold
Safe
at least.
journey there.
Maybe it will be useful. Because materials for upgrades,
Need something forged?
it doesn't look that useful. Yeah, and there is no bank here. I don't know why they didn't place stash near every single waypoint. Don't make sense. At least that's how I think it is. Okay. So there is one quest in Killshed. It's called Killshed. What do you mean? Otherwise you won't make your way. I tested all the skills. I didn't test 2 ultimates, others that's only things that I didn't test, I think. I tested screams on beta, and well, there's nothing there you can actually test. I tested all the basic core skills, so these skills, that skills, this. I didn't test this one, but it will not change drastically anything according to what it does. And I didn't test these 2 skills, that's it. I tested everything. Like, there's nothing that I'm missing here. They're just not my cup of tea. I don't like how some skills done. I don't like other skills at all. So I don't have choice. It's just not enjoyable. Like I cannot choose for myself what is enjoyable for me. Some things are not enjoyable for me, and like 90% of things they're unenjoyable for me. I cannot do anything about it. I am not about DPS. For DPS I should think War Cries and Spin to Win. That's what I should think. But I didn't. Like I took King and Charge for fun. Upheaval just to have at least one skill to utilize Fury. And Cause Ancients just good to skip and leads when I don't have DPS to kill them. And that's it. Well, this blow is kind of fine. It's weird, but let it be. So I just don't like all the skills that Barb have. Let me see what I actually like. Oh, I don't like any of the basic skills and don't have even slightest OM, and feels very wrong in terms of balance of the game. For every single weakest enemy I need to do many hits. It doesn't feel good. Like usually balance and Diabloins that you in certain builds can go for one shot in weak enemies. And it's possible with this blow, but it's impossible with this skill. So this blow compensated. This blow for me is like basic attack. Outside of elites. For elites I need frenzy, do DPS. Whirlwind looks awkward and I don't like overall such type of skills. I played too much with that. Hammer of the Ancients, not fun. I don't want to use hammers at all. I don't like hammers. I played Diablo 2 with hammers only because of nothing else. And overall it's not effective that much. Upheaval more effective. Also demand hammer, so well, it works previously more nice, but now it's too weak in most situations. But looks like pace of skill would change it. Like as I saw yesterday, it's possible to get one of these two skills that looks interesting. Berserk good for DPS and this rage is useful for doing twice more damage. If I'm not mistaken, damn. Yeah, skill deal increased damage, but cost more. By the way, the skill costs more fury, but it's still more fun to use. Do at least one shot things. So it's good. And upheaval with this will feels probably better because for now you're wasting a lot of time to do it, and it does at best half the damage, and it's not that good. And this skill is most damaging from others. Double swing feels utterly useless in terms of how it feels. Rent obviously doing some decent damage to bosses, but in Diablo it run to mobs that don't drop anything and hitting them and then waiting for them to bleed? No thanks. Not fun. Just hit and then run around in circles until they will die. It's not fun. Oh, Stomp. Kinda control spell, kinda decent, but the problem is it doesn't work most of the time on any elites or bosses, so it's not good that much. Also, it's just Stomp. Cries, very short and not fun in this game as well. Cries were mostly fine in previous game, but overall Cries is a passive gameplay. You just activating them and then pressing one button to hit. Iron Skin. Very weird, and also it's just two defensive skills that do, well, I can say that not and say, okay, making metaphor, it's not fun. Kick is fun. It's definitely a fun skill. So from all the skills from the beginning, this is the first fun skill. Not that effective, but yeah, it's a nice one. Cry is cry, okay. Charge. Done very strange now, because Barbarian skips some mobs but run into others, but he can miss some, and when I'm using it in close range, it's sometimes Barbarian just jumping away from enemy through it. So it feels broken. So it could be a fun skill, but it's half broken, so I'm not sure about it. Also doesn't work on many creatures. Leap. Well, long cooldown, not fun. Also, I don't like these jumps overall. So what else? This blow is funny to try to get it so powerful so you can just one-shot normal things. So it's become like basic skill as it should be. And so it's fine. Rupture. Also, it's the only source of AoE damage until you get some Fury. So when you encounter an pack without having Fury, you can just use this blow in main case. But the ones that go fail, and you can't use it for a long time. That's what makes it confusing sometimes. But still, it's a nice skill. Rupture can say much about... No, actually I tested it. I switched my build to Bleeding, tested it, and I didn't like it at all. Feels so strange and weak. Not fun. Didn't test Steel Grasp. I actually can do it instead of Charge. Maybe it will be fun. Additional charge. Again, Berserker. Stable Berserker is quite good. So it can be decent. And ultimates, I can spam ultimates anyway. It can be interesting to test that one, and I wanted to test it at the end, so I probably should. So the skill I saw on trailer, and it's probably a nice one, but Summon 3 will probably do in a way more effect than the skill. And anyway, skills that I can use once in a minute is not really that fun for me. So eventually I come to the moment when I don't like skills. That's why I don't really like the character. And Rogue don't have better skills, so also will not suit me. Others also not that good. I don't want to play mage or whatever. So it's not much left for me. So I can say that the game is bad, but it's not that fun for me. Also, like, story have many flaws, many logical problems, issues, etc. And when I'm also voicing is very strange, like why questions are not voiced but sometimes they voiced, and characters most of the time quiet and never say anything in additional sense, additional quests. So it's very strange, like why they were so lazy to do it normally when it was done perfectly in Diablo 3. So it's a huge step back. There are no bestiaries, there are no nodes everywhere, there is just, well, huge empty locations filled with randomly respawned creatures that give no loot. It sounds like a very awful game. Like huge locations filled with creatures that give no loot. And you need to cut through them to get small bits of story that is not really that interesting and have many problems. Sounds like a very bad concept. So maybe if I would charge only through the main story, it would be more fun. Hard to say. But for now, it looks way worse than Diablo 2, Diablo 3 even. Surprisingly, even than Diablo 3. Diablo 3 have a lot of problems with difficulty after all the updates, but I remember that on release it was fine in terms of difficulty. And it was just broken by all the updates with many difficulties. But okay, maybe this game will become better, but yeah, I don't know. I just, what makes me sad that the game is huge, and I understand that. And if it will be like this, that's what makes me depressive. Because playing for 100+ hours in something that I don't like, not fun. Okay, maybe it will become better. Maybe. So, what are you raving about?
You there? Yes, you. Come now, don't be shy. I need your help. The damned fanatic Thea stole my eyes.
Ow.
She wears them around her neck. And what horrid suffering I've witnessed. Please, no more. There's so much blood, I can't. You must believe me. I can still see from them. Thea and her flock have grown strong in Nostrava. Please, bring me back my eyes.
No, eyes. How it even works? Who's this Thea?
Thea. She was nobody a few years ago. Disappeared for a bit. Came back with friends, blathering on and on about the end of days. She's a liar, but she's also cunning. She snatched up my eyes after all.
Yeah, Starfield, that's what will make me happy for sure. Like, I maybe will not like some mechanics in Starfield, but it will be an amazing game. It's 100%. I know for sure that I will get hundreds of hours of pure joy. Wow, it will be really awful if I'm mistaken, but it's one of the very few games in this universe that can bring some hype to me. Because I like gaming, but I played for many years, for basically, how many? Basically 30 years. I started playing around 4 years for first times, and I'm 34 now. I played 30 years, almost every day, in different things. And after seeing everything, not many things can impress me. I saw everything. That's why I have many complaints. Like people who play in probably games, just few games, and then seeing, for example, Diablo 4, they should be happier. It's a decent game. But after seeing many things, like I became more demanding. Let's call it like this. Yeah, Starfield obviously should be good, but actually still not all the mechanics I know. Maybe there will be something that may ruin all the experience, but I doubt about it. I was enjoying all the Bethesda games. So yeah, it should be good. But still, like for example, I'm enjoying all the From Software games, but they released how it was called. Damn, I even forgot the name. Game about samurai guy. Damn, I forgot the name. How it was. The games that they released before Elden Ring. Damn, I forgot the name for some reason. Usually good in this, but I forgot the name. Oh, anyway. The game about Grey Wolf. That was not one that I liked, but I still like half the game at least, so it was still a decent one. But the boss fights was so damn rough for me, because I used to play through dodge, I used to use magic, I used to use different mechanics, and it was just one strict build when you need to parry non-stop. It was opposite of what I'm doing usually in Souls games, but I still like the game most now. So yeah, hopefully Starfield will be at least at that level. I mean, in terms of amount of joy. I definitely will enjoy Baldur's Gate 3, that's 100%. Starfield I definitely should enjoy, and most likely enjoy. This year also can be few more interesting games. Really interesting, so we'll see. Should be something. Well, glad you like it, Dash. Okay, what happened to your eyes? I actually already got the story, but let's see. She doesn't sound like a demon this time.
Freya stole them. Pinned them on some necklace she wears, but takes it with her everywhere. Makes me watch. I wonder if my suffering aids her. I can see through those eyes just as you can see me now. What I see is painful. So much pain. So much death. I want my damned eyes back.
But they damned. They want that? Rooted? Rooted? What is rooted? I can't even remember what it is. I didn't see still all the trailers. That was rest. I still need time, but damn, all these days I'm so busy. I'm just didn't have time to even see everything that was showed and announced. But second week it says it's Nostrava, so it's one of the games. Oh, and he gave me quest to go there. Interesting. Well, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't go there that much. I shouldn't prioritize it, probably. Okay, but what else left? I think I need to go to dungeons. I think I get also decent loot only from dungeons, most of them. So maybe I just need to visit some dungeons and I will get some decent stuff. So I will be able to go for the strongholds. There are still a few locations left. And yeah, but that's why I need to go to Corvalar. So that's what I can do. Because yeah, going via is so cool. But it can be too dangerous for me now. Oh, wait a second. It's actually in dungeon. It's not in... Okay, that's fine. It's a dungeon. But the way to dungeon lead through this location. Okay, so I can go this way. Alright, somewhere there. Yes. It's 5 more rooted. I know that this year can come Pioneer. It's a Fallout like mmorpg, surprisingly. So it's... But probably the only stuff similar we have is actually Fallout 76, but Fallout 76 is so awful in comparison with what such games can be, so I wouldn't like to compare those games. So we'll see. The day before also, is it not this year? It most likely will be trash, but maybe actually they will deliver this game, who knows? So many rumors about it. No real info what it will be, how it will be. Also this year should be I think August should be second what was called? Also about Roads game. Damn, sometimes I forget the name. The game about fighting the root stuff. Sequel of it. I don't remember the name. Damn. I don't remember. I need a browser for this, but yeah, okay. I actually can launch it, just see it. Just to know it for sure. No, it's not what I need. Yeah. Okay, so let's just do a small break from demo. Oh, it should be from what I managed to see so far. Damn, so much videos released this last days. And I didn't have time to watch it. It's so many trailers and everything. Too much. It's hard to scroll down on this. Yeah. Wow, by the way, the one game that a bit make me hyped is Dragon Dogma 2. I didn't play the first one, but I know that it's decent. Because when it was ported, I didn't have time for it. But actually, maybe I should play first one, then second. It will be next year, so I will have some time. And Dragon's Dogma looks very interesting. At least the things that they promise looks interesting. The way how gameplay will involve physics and cooperation looks very promising. Yeah, Baldur's Gate obviously should be very good. Stalford, of course. Boss of Exile 2, by the way. Not really clear when it will be, but looks very nice. And obviously should be decent. Avowed should be good, probably, but it's questionable a bit. Combat looks very bad, but maybe it will be fine still. Looks too much like Outer Worlds, but maybe it will be still fine. What else? I remember the name. What was... Damn, too many trailers. Too much stuff on subscription. Yeah, also, no, Rock Trader definitely don't will be this year. The year after. Okay, actually checked some stuff. Checked some questionable things and didn't like them and I removed the trailers so I don't see them. So yeah, actually not much things left, but it looks like I have this trailer deleted. Damn. Okay, I don't remember the name. Oh, don't remember everything. Maybe you can see it in Steam, by the way. Should be announced. The game was released on Epic Stores, that's why I don't remember its name here. It was a decent one. Oh, by the way, yeah, Lords of the Fallen will be. Which date it will be? 13 October, yeah. Lords of the Fallen should be good. Looks very promising. Nest of P, I don't like the design of it. I don't like such setting. Let's go it like this. So much stuff. I still don't see any mention of this game that I'm searching, but I can't remember the name. It's just, wow, I just forgot the name. What about popular upcoming? Maybe there. Oh, Tripunk 2 should be, by the way. Tripunk 2 should be really cool. I played the demo, it was very cool. really nice, so fear-like shooter. What is Grimlord VR or not? Yeah, it's VR. Meh. Oh, camera releases. Why can't I see more? They changed how it looks like, and now I can see on like 10 games. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, see more. I found it. I found the button. And they changed everything. Damn, so many games released on Steam every single day. But not that much. Many of them. Oh, Remnant. Yeah, finally, I remember the name. Remnant. What's when it's July 25? Remnant should be good. First one was very nice. Second looks a bit suspicious with all this new class system, but action still can be decent. What is this, by the way? Age of Reforged and the Freelance. Looks like RPG. I don't remember about this one. July 20. Yeah, looks like some classic RPG with party. What the hell is this? Why I never heard about this? Oh, it's coming to early access. Okay, that's why. I don't like to play early access games. Sengoku Dynasty and Manor Lords. Let's see. Manor Lords. Yeah, I think you dropped me this info on this side, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's about settlement. Yeah, Manor Lords looks interesting. Yeah, it's the wish list. What about Sengoku? That sounds familiar, but Sengoku sounds suspicious because something Japanese. I'm not really fan of Japanese design and style. Built in managed villages in an open world feudal Japan. So survival game, basically. Explore meeting characters and establish a legacy, play solo co-op. Well, there were so many games released and they were so mediocre mostly. In such situations. Also Japanese design. Japanese guys don't have armor, don't have anything, and if it's fantasy, it's, well, not really that cool. But, okay. I will check it later, but not sure about this one. Wait a second, from Medieval Dance? Yeah, I didn't play Medieval Dance. I didn't have time when it was released. It also was early access, and eventually just skip it for now. So I don't know. Not sure how good it is. I know what it is, but not sure how good it is. Not sure how it really plays. Didn't see gameplay normally. Like, it feels like the game promised a lot of things to do, but all the things to do done like in very basic level, so not sure for now. But I usually like such type of games.
I'm asleep.
Okay, back to Diablo 4.
You there? Please, help.
What's going on?
You were a fool to trust me.
Yeah. I'm not surprised. I just beat you. Oh yeah, I have this chain. I forgot about this. Oh, why? Just left direction of the skill, and skill was used to the right, but visuals were wrong. That's very weird skill. What does chains even do? Like, it feels like they do nothing. They move a target for 1 meter closer to me, but it doesn't do anything really.
I'm asleep.
Damn, they're doing so much damage with backstab.
I need more fury. I'm not ready yet.
Let's do some cooldown. This chainsaw useless. Gets close to useless for me. And so far, by the way, all the scoundrels are most dangerous enemies. Because they're doing so much damage from far and I cannot dodge it. Okay. Oh wait, second stronghold must be conquered first. Ah. So yeah, it's a bad choice to go there. I cannot deal with stronghold probably.
I'm afraid.
Maybe I can, hard to say. But it feels like I have pretty low level. I mean, not low level gear. Yeah, let's go for dungeons instead then. I'll just clear a bunch of dungeons. Maybe I'll get some stuff. It will be good. I definitely need new weapon, new main weapon. To continue to go fast. Yeah, that's why I probably need to keep browser closed. Additionally, need resources. And eventually lead to troubles. It's an event. Oh.
Is someone there?
Do you need my aid?
My child, all alone in this darkness. Please, help me find my baby.
What I need to do for this?
Friend, don't leave.
I may should stay nearby. Ow! I get it. Wasn't sure what I need to do. Because she did nothing in the beginning. Oh, wait a second. That was my ulti.
I'm afraid.
That was weird how it works. It wasn't the best moment to try the new skill. Damn. Actually, they will survive with new skill, especially. Damn. And she's walking slowly.
Left me alone. I'm afraid. I need time to do that. I need time to do that.
There's so much different stuff.
I don't have any potions.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, wait a second. Why is second dead? Nope. No, not level up. Strange. Find a new weapon that probably will be high level than what I'm using. Oh, alarm? Doesn't look like for alarm, but okay. It's then a little bit more damage and it's just a few levels higher. Not really good. I need an axe for this, not polearm. There are no axe. Yeah, it's quite useless to me. Damage a little bit higher, but it will not change anything. And will not have this cool property of basic skill damage. Damage to close enemies is good. Yeah, this is one. In this corner. Oh, there it is. Although he tried to show me probably the outer, but I didn't see the outer that time. Because he used it or why? I wonder what it will be if I would do this dungeon without having the quest. Oh, I was in this dungeon during beta. I like the design of it. I hope that there will be more of such stuff in the future. Puns. Big puns. Build was those. Yeah, I should change this chains. The only reason for chains I can see for now. Skipping berserking. Just to do more damage.
I need more time.
Yeah, the trio is way stronger than the skill. You design of armors that doesn't look like armor or not. It's not new one. Yeah, it's a new one. We can see it anyway. It looks like. But it doesn't look like armor. It looks like tunic or something. Damage reduction from close enemies, resistance, rank of iron skin. Not really better. Strange that I'm getting such low items. It may be a system similar to Diablo 3, when each 10 level we get a new tier of items. And I'm very close to this tier, so I'm suffering a bit because I still have items of previous tier. But enemies already kinda new tier.
This might very well be my last journal. The Knights Penitent have fallen. I hid and listened to the screams as they were torn and devoured by the creatures. I didn't want to end up like the others, and nothing but the blood splatter on the floor. The city walls that kept us safe have trapped us in with them. I pray the cathedral sends reinforcements soon. And they have mercy when they know of my cowardice. The sounds have stopped. I'm going to try to escape.
Almost made it.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I don't have enough fury.
change skills. I've done this one, then which one? This one uses, well, not entirely uses, but pretty uses. What else then? Charge missing a lot and doesn't work that good. Leap, not really. Stop is fine, kinda, but well, boring. But there's not much point of taking another Fury skill. Also for toughness is a variant, but gain 40% damage reduction. 6 seconds, 20% bonus life. Gain Fury. Can be a decent combo with whirlwind, obviously. You can activate it and then just roll through them. You'll get constantly additional fury for taking damage. Turns doesn't sound useful. Don't 25 seconds though. Iron skin works very weird and you need to use it in the right moment only and it's not making the thing. Smash the crown, blah blah blah. Doing damage but low damage. Concentration. It's in fury. This is gonna have your ultimate skill by 1 second for each enemy damaged by Crownstone. Well, it's kinda okay. But it's still 1 minute, almost. So, reducing it by a few seconds will not change anything really. Yeah, because I can do it again. Still, doesn't sound right, like a really good deal. So it would be possible to take 2 different versions of kicks, that would be awesome. Just take kick and take kick that consumes fury, that would be amazingly good. Because I like mighty kick, but power kick could be useful to just burn all the fury. Because I don't have any use for fury really. I don't like to use upheaval or not. After upgrade it can be useful, but instead of upgrade it can take berserker. I'm getting my only source of berserker right now is this one. It really is that good. What about hammer? Maybe I'm missing something. Slam your hammer down with the Fury of Vengeance, then damage to a concentrate area. Yeah. Area is very small and damage is lower, so obviously up here will do more damage and have bigger area, so there's no reason to use basic hammer. But maybe upgrades changing something. Gain more fury for 5 seconds for each enemy damage by hammer of vengeance, taken up to 10 times. 10 times? For each enemy damage, okay. If there will be 2 concentrate, I can get multiple bonus, but for 5 seconds and I need to use basic attack. Well, it doesn't sound really good. Deals 1% additional damage for each point of fury you had when using it. So basically with full fury it will be 100%, so it will do twice more damage, but it still will be a little bit higher than upheaval. That's the point. Overpowering with Hammer of the Ancient, you deal 30% more damage for 5 seconds, but the chance for overpowering is very low. So now it still uses. I'm not missing anything. All these user skills can be upgraded in theory by some legendary items or set items, but I didn't see them, so I don't know. Double swing is kinda just rising a little bit of DPS and giving you berserker, so it's a good source of berserker if you need it for some reason. But it doesn't make anything effective, and the problem is when I'm feeling this blow, I have cooldown, I don't have any AoE, that's why I need upheaval. To have at least some AoE. Alternatively, in theory, I can use whirlwind, but I don't like how slow it works, and overall I'm not a fan of whirlwind. But maybe there is just no option I should use it. Let's try again to use it. Maybe it will be not that bad. Session weapon or Windows effect. 40% of its base damage is bladed. Used for 2 seconds, deal 30% increased damage until it cancels. Oh, additional damage is fine? Logic now. Slash no weapons. It's unpredictable what weapons I will use. For now I'm using slash no weapons. Maybe it makes sense to try. Okay. Whirlwind, let's see. Maybe it will be good. But yeah, what I wanted to change is the weapon. Yeah, this should be good. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe it will be useless. Whoa.
I'm low on fury.
Wait a second, why use different weapon?
I must wait.
That's weird. Why's the character rolls with some different weapon?
I'm not ready.
I don't get it. Yeah, it doesn't feel good, really.
I don't have enough fury.
So why can't they use something else? Channeled? Okay. Personal selections dual wielding. Why when she's rolling she using a different skill? Get it? Rapid attacks around enemies, 100 damage. Okay. So them weapons are not shown, like any weapons logically. Let's get this one dual wielding. It doesn't look like dual wielding. It's so slow, it feels so strange and broken.
Not ready yet.
Yeah, she's still running with two-handed weapon for some reason.
I don't have enough fury.
I don't know. It feels not fun. It doesn't look fun. So, I don't know, I don't like it. I could use rend, it's kinda good for bosses to do more DPS, but for DPS I can just hold left button basically. So upheaval was the only choice from the skills for me. Don't see how I can use others. I'd prefer to not use any, but I don't see any way to utilize Fury. That's the problem. Ground stomp is the very end. At least it works. Executed.
I need time to do that. I need more fury.
You need a third button as the mouse. I mean, convenient button. Or I need to switch to controls because F3 is skills that I need to spam actively and it's not cool to use them from keyboard. Find some time and plug the controller and try to play with it. Maybe the game will become way more enjoyable in combat. Maybe. Yeah, it's not good. So tough. And most damage and skills doing so small amount of their health. Some damage. Overpowered damage. Overpowered have low chance. Damage to stunned enemies. Low chance to stun them. Damage to close enemies. Okay, at least something. But also condition, condition, condition. Too many conditions in this game. But physical vulnerable damage logic is still better. Close enemies is good, but close enemies physical and vulnerable some are doing more. So not worth it. I wonder if there is any lifesteal in this game. Because so far I can see only house fucking lifesteal is usually one of the core mechanics of such games. So yeah, I can upgrade potions now. I maybe should. Maybe finally can get more and better stuff. With 30 level.
Hello.
Cupid dog. So I decide to sell the stuff instead of upgrading. Maybe makes sense. I'll make at least some money this way. So I don't have any money to... Oh, fuck. Yeah, okay. also this way. Claim rewards. One skill point. Consideration. Not just they really need that much money. Oh wait a second, yeah, I shouldn't sell items
Fair
that I
trade.
don't have skins for.
Be wary on the road.
There's E, but by use, I'm using this wheel for some reason. Why it's E if it's emote? It's so strange. The same button.
You can come back if you need work.
Stronger one in terms of damage. And damage to health the enemies. That's what I need. Damage to close enemies, also nice. Normal damage, also nice. Yeah, it's a good one, but I don't have enough money. Ah, damn. And I can't sell anything. This one would be good. But yeah, without sin, it's impossible to get some. And by sin, I will not get anything. Okay, back. Because for Death Blow, I need axe or halberd or whatever that's doing damage to healthy enemies. So it looks like I need to clear out the dungeon more.
I'm not ready yet.
The bow.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
God damn, this remnant's doing a lot of damage.
I'm afraid.
The skills are good until I will encounter a boss that will be immune to everything. That's what ruins the build with many skills and not using just something passive for damage. You can encounter a boss that will be immune to everything. And I get like 12 hits to kill normal enemy. It's not cool. This kill damaging. also think that's a mistake to make such a huge difference between normal skills and ultimate. Because you always need to wait for this ultimate to kill summons. Otherwise you waste a lot of resources and time. Okay, hit chance is good. So I should keep mine.
I'm not ready yet. I must wait.
Triggered something. This gun's so expensive.
I must wait. I must wait.
Yeah, dangerous, I'm definitely getting more stuff because more elites. Concentration. It's finally a rare item that's not. Given nice bonuses. Also, it's smaller than previous weapon, so it doesn't look that ridiculous. It's the highlight one. The damage plus mine is the same, but no. Doesn't have good damage. Oh, but actually I didn't have anything better, yeah. Yeah, it's maybe fine. Still too tough.
I'm not ready yet.
By the way. That's fine. I mean, another barbite to the warrant. It's not like I'm first day playing. Like, I would gladly play not barbarian, don't like barbarian at all. But there are no other meanest in game, so what else can I do? I'm glad to play something like a paladin, maybe. Oh damn.
I must wait.
Damn, it's that time. This one's newer. Well, maybe a little bit better. Why else armor look like this? Okay, so the chicken now should be opened. No, that's fancy. Because this is rock funny. Oh damn, the damage.
I'm afraid.
Damn the damage. Oh, so they actually homing missiles. Nice. Doesn't sound good. Yeah, and stuns doesn't work, of course. Nothing works. Like this game. But just most of my abilities doesn't work on the first. Nice. Very nice of you. Damn, the damage is enormous.
Need more time. I need time to do that.
Oh, it works first time.
I'm afraid.
Do he have some resistance or what? So it's maybe not pure immune, but maybe just very high resistance to stun. Okay. No, it's still box on the internet. No, by the way. Very powerful. Well, maybe I can compare really. I tried only during beta Rogue, and Rogue was way stronger. So I don't know what's on the high end, but for now, until endgame, it doesn't feel too strong. But it's fine, yeah. I read the next dance in this game. It's kinda better, but not better, and well. I have the stat by the way. Damage to house enemies. Well, no. It's a shame. They could end everything. If they added so many stunts that I can't even track. It's annoying. Okay. Maybe I still can buy that weapon. That would be nice. Definitely need a better two-hand weapon. Yeah, do I need to get skins from something? No.
Anything breaks, the forge is hot.
Yeah, still can buy this one. Yeah, but I got a new sword that one DPS better, but who cares? This one have more damage with one hit, and also have damage to... Wait a second, to injured? No, it's a different one. Oh crap. I don't want to do an... Oh, it's actually to hit also. Yeah, this one have damage to health enemies. Also basic skill damage, lucky hit, power damage. Oh, the bonus is not really that good. Couple sockets though. Maybe sockets can be useful.
Anything else?
Diamond. Okay.
I can't afford that.
Wow. I never have enough money. The prices are really high in this game. And it will change when I return. Okay. There's one dungeon in this territory and there's also something this way. Should check it. There's some waste somewhere. Mexican people here? Just lonely hundreds? Oh, what it is. Let's go to cellar.
I'm afraid.
Why I need like 40 hits for one minion? It's a very wrong balance in the game. It's not fun. And it's not a big creature, and it's just a tiny one. I have as good weapons as possible after this. And my skill is maximized. I have a strong feeling that will be like in Diablo 3. When I'll get some legendaries, they will be just overpowered. And they will break bones for me. Okay, now for the dungeon.
I'm not ready yet. I'm asleep.
I can't even see my character because of this burn.
I'm not ready.
I use the skill somehow.
I'm not ready.
But I'm curious. Are my skills stacking or not?
I'm out of fury.
I mean, I'm getting this bonus to health the enemies. Does it stack from 2 weapons? Now I have it on... No, I don't have it on sword, but I have it on maul. And maybe it actually works for all the weapons. But I can't know it for sure. So by the way, the damage is higher. Plus 1 is the same. Can you use it overall for death blow? Yeah, I can use all the types of weapons for this. It probably will be filled with undead. We'll see. As werewolves or undead should be. Hopefully not ghosts at least. What's ghost unknown? Inconvenient for me. Fires.
Not ready.
I'm surprised that there are no bonus damage to demons, to undead, to vampires, etc. They did so many variant damage some conditions. I got to add this one.
I'm not ready yet.
The butcher here? Just like this? What? What the hell? It's just random dungeon? Yeah, I know that that it's type of demons, but damn.
I need time to do that.
Yeah. And he literally is the boss of this place. Can you stop? Yeah, here's the stun here. One-shotted. Well, he did a lot of damage. First time I'm dying after the werewolf boss. It's my second death now. It counts like I died here, but looks like I don't need to gather anything. This way? Stone cairn. What am I clicking at? It's called Stone Cairn and I can just click it for some reason. Oh, it's something targetable, some tiny rock. I don't know. Oh yeah, I was killed. That's surprising. He doing a lot of damage plus stun. And I was without my ultimate. I didn't expect it to find a boss after like 2 seconds after the elite enemy. And there are no boss here. What the hell? What? How it works? Okay, let's try to keep ultimate.
I'm asleep.
How can we teleport? Oh, I have this breaking chains. Probably means that I cannot do it again.
I'm asleep.
Using instantly. I'm losing my skill. And I encountered the next one. Nice. Okay, screwed. Why you spawn so far away? Damn, Tortugan is here. Nice. And he's in the skill. Nice combination. Oh, I'm still alive.
I need time to do that.
Damn it. Random definitely not on my side. Now the items worse than what I have. And I don't feel myself overpowered right now at all. Let's not go. I remember how people complain during beta, like barbarians too weak or in comparison with others and so on. And devs explained like, oh, barbarian will be the strongest, but you need a lot of like you just need to gather legendaries. Well, one day I probably will get my legendary. Now I don't have any legendaries. Navani must have. From where got the butcher? From where the butcher came? He was the boss. Literally, he have a boss bar. From where did he came even? Or is he just like a chance creature or what? Just spawned from nowhere and well, I was on cooldown with everything. Very strange. Can this sound there? It's maybe butcher, maybe not. The icon's the same as was in butcher. But this is just a link. I'm a fool. Oh, dungeons is definitely way more loot than outside the dungeons. Max weight charge. Funny another boost with the spawns, but no movement speed. And also stats not that way better. No, not that good. Damn. So much damage.
I'm not ready.
Also not on the map for some reason. My previous was on the map, but this one is not. What's the difference?
I'm a fool. I must wait.
Making something without ultimate takes so much time. So much more time. That's not that good. There is another one. No, it's not that good. How is this? Face shrine camp. What the hell was this? I grabbed something, whatever it is. Okay, maybe on. Oh, yeah, okay. I'm a fool. Okay, let me try.
I have come to these caves to be in service for my master. He has promised me both life and blood, resilience as the world crumbles. I crave such stability, such strength. I was born weak into a world that has no tolerance for it. And I continue to be weak to feed my master. But I know that one day, soon, I will be reborn anew, his equal and his ally and his kin. This day will come. This day will come.
Wow. The voice is funny. Yeah, that's nice.
I need more time.
It will be multiple enemies.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay, turnovers. Why is there two? Ah. Wound bearers from both sides. Wait, now it ends the dungeon and not the boss room.
I'm not ready yet. I'm afraid. I'm not ready yet.
Damn. Because they were damaged second ones too. They didn't. It's surprisingly big dungeon.
Without you.
Why? Because in prevents.
Couldn't have made it without you.
I'm not ready yet. I can't lift more.
Damn. My inventory is full. Filled with trash. Control. Rank of this blow. Can it go higher than 5? I wonder. So yeah, it actually can. Okay, it's doing more damage now. Not. So sounded 92. Yeah. No, okay, it makes sense. More chances for one shot. The blunt. Wow. It's better. Still not sure if this affect overall damage to health enemies or not. Or it works only on this weapon because it's first property. And magical property of the weapon, not magical properties that give me overall stance. Very unclear.
Anything else?
Feels like maybe it's reasonable to sell all non-rare items, because I'm getting plus minus the same amount of money from them. Maybe not the same. But I'm not getting items that needed to improve the items. Maybe it's better to keep rares. Destroy them. And damage to healthy enemies. This one have way more damage with one hand. It's overall better. Wasting 200s for this. Yes, damage is way higher than with sword. Both minimum and maximum. Also plus 20% damage to close enemies, that's not. Yeah, makes sense, I guess.
Raise the father.
Also, I should, if I can, upgrade this weapon. Yeah, don't have much money. Oh.
Not bad.
Don't have any money to buy this one. But yeah, now the chance to do damage higher. Yeah, it's definitely higher. Not what I want to do. Actually, maybe I can change something. Some kind of new helmet. Looks very strange. Don't really like any of them, really. This one looks not that bad, but okay. Not so much point of changing. Still don't have. Oh, wait a second, this one. No, it's not the armor. Look at this. How it can protect from anything. It's ridiculous. Chainmail bikini, damn. The dev should be ashamed by making such armor. So awful. Still no armor. This one looks bigger, but can I cover them? Okay, can. Kinda will do. Shame since there is no black car. Maybe it's only for donation, I don't know. This one kinda using black car, but not always. The gate window. Any puns? Can I get puns, please? Oh, puns! Finally! Scared with puns. Okay, we have puns. It's not that bad. And this one? No, it's not puns. Wow, also some puns, but well, no protection. Okay, this one have puns. That's fine. Oh dear. Okay, what about boots? Oh, wait, I don't have any money to change it. Damn, so terrible. Wait, so can I change it? No. Show me like I can change something, but not sure what. Grayish in game looks even more grayish than everything. Ah, okay. I stole some money by buying this item. Leaving a little bit money isn't left. Okay, we'll return. And get some armor. So my character test maybe one day will look like a normal fighter. Not a naked, weird girl.
I must wait.
It would be hilarious to get the sword, it will be better.
I'm not ready yet.
No, it's not better.
I must wait. I must wait.
I bet we should switch from hammer to some different weapon. Or bird. This skill. So damage is the same. 535. 669, yeah. This weapon definitely better.
I'm not ready yet. I must wait.
Oh damn. It's the wrong direction of jump.
I must wait.
This one didn't survive long enough.
I need time to do this. I must wait. I'm not ready.
This dungeon really feels infinite.
I need more time. I must wait. I'm not ready yet.
Getting such a small amount of gold from the chest. Very small amount in comparison to what everything is cost. There's in games to get just by gathering gold enough money to buy many items. And here it's different, but items are not that good, so it's very strange balance. They obviously trying to make gold useful, and it's a good idea to make it useful. If you can make it useful.
I'm not ready yet.
Bless you.
This someone blessed me, but she's still. Oh. It's only she looks like she's staying. Last one.
You're safe.
Wait a second, where is the boss? So instead of boss I get many creatures? But who is the butcher? It feels really like butcher is some kind of bonus boss that can spawn any moment. Maybe it is like this. I don't know. But anyway, you can return. Yeah, I'm using this blow one. This blow worth it. This one have a nice bonus, but overall damage is lower. Damage is also important.
Good. What else you got?
I should sell everything. Now I will be able to improve weapon.
Unexpected.
Yes, the difference is not that big. Still something. If damage to injuries would be damage to on sale, that would be good. Yeah, still nothing that close to end. By the way, all the helmets in grey. Oh yeah. Looks like something. So not that bad, it's a bit dumb looking, but yeah, I can still keep this one, it's fine. A bit too oversized, but it's fine. This armored, but the low part of it looks strange. Oh, it's all down. Oh, it's against free. So it's low, so it'll cost something. Okay. I didn't understand that. Oh, I don't like the skin. Those weapons are so ridiculously huge. Because also this one doesn't look that terrible. This one looks a bit big. Anything smaller. This one looks pretty realistic. No, okay, it's better. Still no black car. Just out of curiosity. Oh, by the way, it's possible to change appearance. Headstones? What is a headstone? The shop to discover new headstones. Okay. What is a headstone?
Hail, wanderer. Laid before you is the bounty of history.
I don't care.
It
Oh,
stirs you,
what
yes?
that? No, it's some trash. I didn't need it. So... Dons? What are dons? No. Okay. So what is the stones? Like, I don't see any stones here. There are no categories, there are just classes with, I don't know, sets, whatever it is. Maybe there are some stones here, whatever it is. I'm just curious what it is. Blah blah blah. I have no idea what it is. Something that is not even in shop. Anyway, what about cars? Natural car. So is it just all the cars? Ah, that's how to apply to everything. Okay. So there are no black car. Oh, nice. There are no metallic car and there are no black car. Eventually, character looks like, I don't know, low contrast. Fine for this location, but outside it looks strange. Ah, that's a shame. There's some part of the map that is not explored. Now, overall, I need to get to Corvalar. There are also dungeons around. There is also this location. There's also fractured pigs burned. Now I need to get to Corvalar. Which time left though? This all the locations. Okay, let's try to reach Corvalar. Because maybe a main quest line will eventually move me to some other places. There is no point to trying to get ahead of this. Yeah, this is the only way. I get somewhere on my way. Yeah, basically I need to go through this part. It's also this fragment. Goblin? Goblin. Wow. It's unstunnable. Can you hit him at least once? I used ultimate, they did nothing to him. Okay. Heavy puns. No, not what I need. Okay, I'm getting some XP by doing this, but probably not much. So maybe it's really better to ignore them. That's stupid. This place is like a better mmorpg. This sacrificed a lot of things to make it more.
I'm not ready yet.
The fish is the code not anymore.
I'm afraid. I'm not ready yet.
Some different ring vision. Well, no, it's not that good. Damn, this one is not upgraded and it's quite better than what I'm using. It's damage to health and damage the same overall. Damage to close and it doesn't exist. So it's questionable what is better. Some close to be way better, but nope.
I'm not ready yet. I must wait.
Settlement. Their tribe. Griganage. Griganov. I don't know. The owl got so lightly, it's so strange. Like it's obviously a lot of snow and probably cold weather outside. So equipped like it's have naked arms. We lose your arms after couple of minutes of spending in the really cold weather. And even just like -5 or something, still too much. It's ridiculous. Why are they good like this? Looks like they're in some, I don't know, desert region. Not in the snowy one.
I could take the cold outside, so long as it's quiet. Never have children.
Propaganda.
Do not feed that foolish dog. She was meant to be a hunter.
Dog make no sound for some reason.
There now. Back to the battle.
Travelers beware. If all sorcerer waits in northern sin response to assail of the unaware, change him with vigilance as he practices various uncanny magics.
You were right about the food in Yelesna.
They can burn a man at the stake, but they can't season a goat.
Too much sitting inside. I'm getting fat, cousin.
Less talking, more hitting.
She's almost naked. Hell, the covered on with tattoos. How? This guy didn't even have boots? Damn, no pants, no boots. On the snow. What? Oh, it's like, no, it's some kind of pants, yeah. Just covers weren't. Okay, that's fine. Still, the equipment it's plus 10, 15 at the very least. And the guys who naked, wow. You need 20 plus degrees at least. But with minus degrees, it's suicide. That's what I'm talking about. So annoying how everything done. Like some dumb bosses made all the stories, the lore, everything. Everything have logical mistakes. Huge mistakes. Like people can't live in such a place. Even with so many details, it is not believable because, wow. People can't live with just few camps. It looks like a small camp, temporal. But it's obviously not a temporal camp, according to the lore. It's a shame. I doubt that they build in this stuff each time they move a few meters away. Damn. It's really hard to not complain about all this. I see dumb, just stupidity every single screen where I'm going. Like bad balance, bad lore, bad decisions, bad dialogues. Just everything's terrible. Combat system is kind of fine, but skills are not cool. And I don't know. Graphics is fine, and combat is mostly fine. All the other things are awful. Load system is awful, everything's awful. And 100 plus hours to finish, and damn, I don't know. Not sure what to do with this game. It's the first game for a very long time that I'm disappointed. And I prepared so much. I played first, second, third Diablo. And all this to reach the disappointment. I don't know. Maybe in the future it will become better, but for now it's bad. It's just terrible in many aspects. Combat is not that enjoyable when you just need to kill hundreds of enemies for nothing. There should be loot, but no loot. Yeah. Yeah, you just smashing for what? You're not getting anything from this. It's not that fun because, well, very strange choice of bounce and skills. Enemies enormously spongier. Minions 10 times more spongy than in any similar game. Always minions like twice, maybe thrice tougher than normal enemies. But these minions 10 times tougher, even 20 times tougher. It makes no sense. I need for 40 plus hits to kill him. It's not fun. And they drop 0, just nothing. They maybe will drop like 50 gold, and then you need 200,000 of gold to buy anything. And whatever you will buy will be few percent better than what you have. It makes no sense. It's just broken bones. It's... I don't know. Maybe I should drop Diablo 4. I don't know. It's... I paid $70 for this trash. I wanna play it just for the story at least, but damn, the story is disappointing. The story could drive me further without any problem, but maybe I should stop doing side quests and play on the story and then decide what to do with this. Because maybe on endgame the side quest will make more sense, because I don't know, it's just terrible. It's not enjoyable. Like for me it's I don't know. From rate of 5 it would be 2 probably, and only for graphics and visuals only. And also look at this terrible barbarian armor. Look at the equipment that locals have. They stand in bikini in the middle of the snow. What the fuck is this? It's just so stupid. Yeah, music also nice. Music. Yeah, music, visuals, like overall how the game looks and feels, very nice. Like almost 10 from 10. Really good. But dialogue's awful. Half of the replay is not voiced. Why? Why is the other half is voiced? Are they better than this or what? Like it's very confusing for me. Like any aspect that I'm taking except of graphics and music is broken. Diablo 3 have a lot of flaws. A lot. And Diablo 3 is experienced for just a week or two. I can totally agree that it's not a good game, really. But it's questionable because it was not what people expected. And balance is also wrong. And balance mostly ruins the game. Like bad loot system that become even worse in Diablo 4 for now. From what I see in Diablo 4 loot system even worse than Diablo 3. Diablo 3 was too simplified and also not really enjoyable. Getting a lot of trash that means nothing. The same most in Diablo 4, but it's overcomplicated now with stats that not enjoyable. There should be some progress, but I don't feel progress at all. I become weaker. With all these levels, I become weaker, not stronger. That's not how it should be. Like, why my character becoming weaker, not stronger? Because monsters becoming tougher, I'm getting some loot that kinda percent by percent better, but my character is still weaker. I have more and more troubles right now than I have before. But my character progress on the same location versus the same enemies. And I already unlocked all the skills and they're still terrible. Yeah, scaling is kind of fine. Like, it makes sense that you logically should be afraid of enemies everywhere. I mean, they should be changing. So its idea of scaling is fine. But the way it's done, not fine. Like, logically, you should become stronger, you should feel it. But enemies should still be changing. But I don't have even a bit that my character becomes stronger. Like on first levels, it was there because I get new skills and the skills were powerful. Now all the skills useless. Like the strongest barbarian skills are doing the most damage. Do like 3% to elite. Like what? Okay, and to elite maybe a bit more, but to boss like 1%. It's not fun. It's not cool. Yeah, they hold it a lot of content, they make it way more grindy. Like they just increase grind 10 times in comparison with Diablo 3 and Diablo 2. But in Diablo 2, you're constantly getting some cool stuff that can change your gameplay. In Diablo 3, broken bounce, but at least at Reefs you also can get very powerful items that eventually change your gameplay. Maybe here also can get something, but it feels like very tedious grind. It feels like Lost Ark, where you just grinding mobs for nothing. And the same here. It's like Korean mmorpg and worst implementation. Combat decent, but not that fun to do it again and again and again. Just with enormous, like huge hordes of enemies without getting anything. Just not fun. So eventually boss component, gameplay and story for me not fun. Because story is broken. It looks silly so far. Like why one of the pretty weak demons, I mean Lilith, surprisingly become way stronger than all the other demons. Okay, maybe will be some explanation. For now, there are no explanation. Where she was all this time, also no explanation. Why she didn't what she do now previously, also no explanation. But okay, maybe will be explanation. How people live in here? They have some tiny shitty settlements with like 3 houses. They are naked on the snow. And outside, like, hordes of enemies. Hordes. And they don't say, like, oh, we barely survive and we cannot go outside. No, they're freely walking outside. They have no problems with. So, demons, werewolves, that's southern outside. Like, they are already doomed and they're fine with it. It's so broken. And you just walking and smashing things that respawn. I few times stand on one spot and creatures just respawn in front of me. And barricades and everything. It's not fun. It's just stupid. No, you're not too old. Primus. I just went... Just when I played beta of Diablo 4, I didn't expect anything from Diablo 4. I expected they will not play this game and not buy it. But I played a bit just through the main story and it was kind of fine. It was okay. So I decided, oh, alright, it will be fine to do it once. Like all the dungeons, so once and drop it. But I didn't understand anything what's going on in the story. So I decided to go through first Diablo, second Diablo, and third Diablo before Diablo 4, and I did it. And I enjoyed first Diablo, I enjoyed second Diablo, I enjoyed third Diablo, even third Diablo. I really like the story. I like the merc. I like this road movie vibes from talking between them all the time. It was enjoyable. It was epic adventure, even third game, but it was... I don't like epic adventures, but it was fine. It was an interesting story with some twists. Even Magda wasn't that terrible, even if annoying. Magda and Belial were annoying, but it was fine. But Diablo 4... I don't know. I just not enjoy it. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, mainly loot system was broken. If loot system would drop something cooler, it would stimulate to play more and more. But I'm just killing thousands of creatures not getting anything. Meh. Yeah, I most likely also complete story. I probably will just focus on main story right now. Maybe during the process I will actually unlock something that will make the game enjoyable for me. Maybe the balance done this way that you only getting cool stuff on the end game. Like you can get normal stuff, or maybe I'm unlucky, I don't know, during low levels, and you get only cool stuff on the end game. So maybe it will be fine. Stalker 2, by the way, I have no idea when it will be released, but yeah. Yeah, we're getting still Elden Ring DLC, we're getting Lords of the Fallen, Baldur's Gate 3 and Starfield, of course, for a lot of time. So of course there will be a lot of things to play. Also there are many small games that are decent. But just Diablo 4, I don't know. Like, if I wouldn't like first, second and third playing them right now, it would be understandable that maybe I'm just tired of the genre or something. No, I wasn't. I enjoyed every single one of them. I enjoyed in December. I enjoyed Path of Exile for years. And I saw trailers of Path of Exile 2. I wanna play it. But Diablo 4... I should focus on main story, I think. Because I don't want to drop the game. First of all, because I never drop the game. I'm always... If I decide to do the full playthrough, I will do it. But... in this case, I need to focus more on the story. Maybe during the story, I will grow the level high and I will see some cool features that I will like. Maybe this Barbarian Masters, whatever it is, will change the game. Maybe some legendaries will change the game for me. Because in Diablo 3, some sets and legendaries change drastically some skills. So some user skills become very fun and effective. Maybe they use the same system for Diablo 4. So maybe many skills that I don't like, maybe some of them will become enjoyable. So maybe it will become better. So I need to try it. Just because grinding all this territory, it's so tedious. It's just, you get in 1 minute of lore, of some dialogue or something, and then you grinding for hours just killing things that don't drop anything by using the same skills again and again. It's opposite of fun. So yeah, I think I should focus just on main story, and then I will see what to do. I usually always doing just all the secondaries and everything because it's always interesting. They given more information, more lore, you better understand the situation, everything. But the only thing that I understand so far is that when I went yesterday for the main story mission, it was dumb as hell, with many mistakes, with many strange moments with behavior of characters, very strange dialogues, without ability to ask questions that you want to ask actually, without many things. Like, it was dumb. So I doubt that second request will save the day. So maybe the story will develop better, but at the beginning it's not good. Like, first quest was nice when the settlers tricked barbarian. It was interesting. The Haradrim guy was pretty nice in terms of, it was pretty immersive for monologues, because I can't call it dialogues, but it was nice. Some dark vibes, it was cool, but the Temple of Ratma wasn't cool. So I don't know, maybe it will become better. I just need to focus on story. Because grinding thousands of creatures without any loot, not fun. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and well, I'm surprised that at least someone watching with all my... I really sorry for all my complaints, but they have a reason. Like, I'm sorry for also... It's second time I'm complaining. First time I complained when I played Pathfinder. The whole game I enjoyed a lot. But at the end it was become so stupid and ruined all the story, all the intrigues, everything. That's the first time when I complained during streams. That was... that was unexpected. So yeah. It's not like too harsh, but I'm disappointed, yeah. And also, it's questionable. You know, if there wouldn't be logical games, I could say, oh yeah, it's just video game, and they're supposed to be stupid. No, they are smart, some of them. Just the stupidity is very annoying. Like, I can see so many logical things, and when I see them, they ruin an immersion. Like, when the story just becomes believable, then something happens that fully ruins it. And you think like, I don't care. You're all dumpsters, you deserve to die. I don't give a fuck. That's how it works. So that's why it's ruined for me. Because when I'm seeing then someone doing stupid things, and well, you deserve to die. I don't give a damn about you, you idiot. So if you're doing stupid things, then well, face the consequences. And because of it, I don't give a damn. I'm just, well, looking at this, trying to not do face palms. That's it. That's all we can do. Because there are some really good stories that have logic in it, that when characters behave nicely, everything. Like early BioWare games, not really early, but golden era, like Mass Effect, mostly pretty logical. And most you can ask all the questions that you need, getting believable answers and behavior from characters, everything. Everything looks nice and fine. Like Dragon Age first one, so good in all the aspects. Both gameplay and story and logic and dialogues and characters and twists, everything's perfect. Or close to it. Like there are some games where it's all good. Like when you cannot do something logical, just don't do it. Like for example, in Skyrim, you will not encounter many dialogues, but you will be able to still get some logical information, answers, whatever. You will not get much of the lore, but all you get sounds pretty fine. And it's not game about story really, it's more about sandbox exploration, etc. So, I don't know. It's just, I don't know, story is kind of ruined for me because of all this stupidity. And outside of stories there is nothing. There is grind, a lot of grind. And I'm fine with grind if there would be loot. I think I really should focus on story because maybe if the system, I played almost all Diabloans, and in many of them, you're not getting cool stuff until max level. On max level, you start getting very powerful, interesting things, and they change in your gameplay. So maybe I just need to wait for it. So I need to focus on story, on the main one. It's probably more detailed than side quests. Do it, and then I can do all the side quests during endgame, because as far as I understand, you get in max level during the story, then you can walk all these directions, farm any dungeons, farm any quests, and you will get endgame loot through this. So maybe it makes more sense. Yeah, they sacrificed a lot to make it a MMO, and well, officially they trying to hide like, oh, it's not a MMO. We never said that this is a MMO and so on. But it's clearly grindy MMO. Yeah. It's not about immersion. Yeah, they sacrificed immersion. Actually, they have immersion. I would disagree with this. I mean, yeah, it's not immersive when mobs respawn, but in terms of overall atmosphere, it's pretty immersive. It's actually very deep, very dense atmosphere. Very good music, very good visuals, and you walking through this, it's very cool. But yeah, then you're seeing things that actually ruin it. But damn, they almost made it. That's what's probably given the most disappointment, that they almost made a really good game. Almost. Just almost a masterpiece. Just small mistakes ruin it fully. From masterpiece level to very crappy level. That's what's annoying. By the way, yeah. It's like Elder... By the way, it's absolutely like Elder Scrolls Online. Massively single player game when there are many people running around and hope that this... Not hope, wish that this game would be single player. That's exactly it, yeah. There's so many complaints about this in comments and everywhere, in reviews, like, why is this a MMO? And the same for Elder Scrolls Online. Like, why can't I play solo in this? Because the game was made clearly for solo players, but for some reason have some activities that you cannot bypass, you can disable, you just see them all the time. And it's very strange, yeah. Yeah, shouldn't be too harsh, but damn, it's hard. The one thing that I really dislike is stupidity. Like when I see stupid things, it's just trigger me. It's just it's fine if I can ignore it, just stupid people. But when they are main characters in the story, I cannot ignore them. I see them all the time. They're annoying me. The stupid, they out of the place, they behave wrong, illogical, and so on. It's all trigger me. Well, I'm not sure that they wanted to make this world alive because they mostly failed with it, because cities doesn't look alive at all. I think they tried to make endgame, because the main problem of Diablo 3 at the beginning was no endgame. Diablo 2 also have no endgame, basically. They tried to fix it in Resurrection a bit by adding some variations of random at the end of the third difficulty. They added this each hour spawning zones that become your level, and that way you can farm the best stuff, etc. They tried to add some endgame. Like Path of Exile had a lot of endgame. They really did a nice work with this, with all these maps, labyrinths, etc. You can go in many places, you can farm many different things that you like. And now you have even skill tree for map to be able to actually change zones that you like, add activities that you like, and just enjoy it. It's a very good job on endgame. And Diablo 4 supposed to be like MMO. It's supposed to have a lot of activities, but all you getting is grind. Like, yeah, there are some events that happens. It's definitely a content. But they're the same. I don't know. It's questionable. And the main thing is the combat is very slow, so you're wasting a lot of time to go through the same stuff again and again, instead of seeing new stuff. So very can't say that really spongy enemies, but yeah, spongy elites and spongy minions. You need so much time to just walk through this to kill. Like in the place, so in many other games, there would be like 5 packs of mobs before the boss, for example. But in Diablo 4, it feels like you need to kill not 5, but at least thrice more enemies. And you kill and kill and kill without getting anything until you finally get into the boss. It all feels very damn, I don't know this word. Too long, but how to say it on English, damn it. Let me translate it. Protracted? Titan? Dragged out? I don't know. It's all too... It's consuming way more time than it should. That's what I want to say. Too extended, yeah, but in bad way. Like you need to do... It's normal to go in dungeon, kill some mobs and then find the boss, but here it feels like thrice longer than it should be. It's normal to go for the quest and you need to do some... You need to get to some points during doing the quest, but here you need to kill so many mobs on this way. You need to do so much chores to get to some content. That's how it feels. And logically, you're killing mobs as in any other game, and logically, you're getting even loot from your level. But you're not getting loot mostly, you're not getting anything fun. And killing the same, absolutely the same mobs, there are fields of the same one single type of creature, like goo, for example. Just field of them. Just screen, I'm killing screen, moving to next screen, it's also filled with ghouls. Not even 2 types of enemies, just one single type of enemies. Just copy paste. It's the whole game feels like copy paste. It's very beautiful cities, kind of immersion, everything, yeah. And the planes, everything looks very beautiful, but it's all copy paste. It's a really strange situation when the game looks very good overall, and it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be almost a masterpiece, but not. It's not enjoyable for me, for now. So strange disappointment. Like I never encountered such situations because usually I can perfectly see what I like, what I not, what I don't like. And here it looks like I should like it, but I don't. That's like it. Like small details that ruin each aspect slowly when you understand them. Wait, is the construction to login? Or why? They don't play? Or what's going on? Like, why are you struggling to play with them? I can switch something like this. Some screen. To be motivated to play. Damn. Well, you shouldn't pay $70 for something that you need to be motivated to play. That's the problem. It sounds like a free-to-play Korean MMORPG. That's how it sounds like. Yeah, they play in grindy MMORPG instead. That's the point when it's wrong. Like, for example, when I played a lot of Lineage 2, and we waited with the clan for Diablo 3 at that point. Like, and I tried to explain to people, like, damn, dudes, yeah, you need mostly just to kill mobs, but killing mobs in Diablo is fun. We played Diablo 2 in co-op. It was fun. They was hyped. Oh, okay, cool. We're waiting for Diablo 3. We're waiting for Path of Exile later. We played in Path of Exile a lot and so on. Yeah, okay. But Diablo 4, it really feels like a Korean mmorpg and not a good one. Like, I got way more fun from Story of Black Desert Online. It was really fun. It was a bit stupid sometimes, but not that harsh. And all the regions, they all looks realistic, logical. You can believe that people live in here, that this world exists, and that it function. It looked so good. All the settlements were proper size and everything. There were people everywhere. You can believe that they live in daily lives. They're doing something, and you're just one of the people in this world. And it's cool. But the loot system, by the way, like this ruined the game for me fully. If not the loot system, I would play Black Desert gladly, just at least to learn English and just for small enjoyment, because there are so many quests, so many territories, so many things to explore, to do, and everything. But the loot system just killed the game for me. It's just you loot in some fragments for fragments to improve your fragments, to improve your the same weapons that everyone have, the same armor that everyone have, but you just need to be lucky to improve it by using these fragments that you need to get from fragments, from bosses that spawn from like the same time every day, and you need to enter the game and kill this boss to get the fragments, to have a chance from these fragments to improve your weapons. Using fragments to improve your chances for other fragments that will be used to improve your items. Very complicated and not fun. But yeah, it's exactly this stuff. I'm getting, instead of loot, like, please give me loot from mobs in Diablo 4. Instead, I'm getting flowers, fragments, materials that I cannot craft anything with even. Okay, I can craft some potions that, well, who cares? Yeah. And it for the story, yeah, I can agree, Nordish, but well, some of the quests in BDO, for example, is kill 100 of mobs, and I'm fine. Like there are a few, so just smashing through them, it's fun from time to time. But you're supposed to get some loot during this time. I'm actually fine with all the grind when you just grind for, I don't know, achievements, collectibles, whatever, clearing regions. I'm fine with that, but should be something during the process, some additional things. Usually it's a loot system. Loot system is very important. Yes, exactly. The gear in Diablo 4 is... yeah, excuse is probably pretty correct word. And it's Diablo, it is a game where loot is 90% of the success of the game. If the loot system is interesting, no one cares. You will just... each time you'll get something funny, some cool items that will change your gameplay, improve it. Each time you will be dragged like by drags into it to just go again and kill more mobs. Maybe I will get another one. That's what drive all this genre. And when the loot system is broken, meh. Like you need to kill tons of mobs, but why? It's not fun. Precalculated. Well, what do you mean precalculated, by the way? Because I'm not sure that I understand that. Like, what's precalculated? Oh, damn, don't even remind me of New World. New World was... I really enjoyed the game. When I played the beta first time, I wanted to start my streaming from New World. I waited for New World and thought like, oh, it's a good entering point. It's a fresh game where I can start streaming and it will be I will learn English and also get some fun and fresh auditory from the game and so on. Damn, I so enjoyed first days. It was so good. Just the feeling of core mechanics was very good. Like run around, crashing everything, losing everything, exploring the world was interesting. Combat system was fine. I didn't like the spam of the same 3 skills, it's boring. But just basic hitting, shooting with bow was pretty decent. It was fine. It was changing to the headshots and everything, it was fine. But, well, after a few days I understand that all you would do is the same and you become tired of the same animations and things that you're doing. And nothing in game. Only pirates, zombie skeletons, zombie pirates, zombie skeletons. There are some wolves and alligators in addition. And you just looting chests and boxes and urns and chests and boxes and urns and again. It's not fun. You're not getting any cool loot, you're not getting anything. Yeah. Yeah, loot system is very important because it drives. If you need to kill many things, there should be a reason to do it. It should be either enormously fun, and well, no one achieved that so far. The most enjoyable for me actually in terms of killing mobs, just actually surprisingly mostly it's more though. Surprisingly it's very enjoyable. Like physics, good. Sound, good. So finishing enemies each time is fun in melee. It's just bringing me joy. After killing hundreds and thousands of bandits and everything, still bring me joy. Just basic things bring me joy, but mostly because I'm not killing thousands of them each hour. I'm just killing few of them from time to time, and each time I'm getting fun. Just by seeing animations, physics, blood, everything. Everything's perfectly done. The only things that missing is dismembering. Like cutting them in pieces would be cool, but it's supposed to be. It was disabled because of the bugs that crashed server, only for this reason. But it will get finishers, so it will be cool. And from single games, I can't even... what was really better and feels good? I really like things like Dark Mystery of Might and Magic, for example. Like it was... but it still was pretty simple combat system. Mountain Blade was cool, but it's third person. Skyrim feels pretty satisfying because animation, impact, physics, and effect was pretty nice. You basically spawn a couple of buttons, but it's still decent. Hard to say what else was decent like this. In terms of media. That's probably the most nice ones. Same to WoW? No, maybe. I actually didn't check it normally. I played Classic not long ago. I played mostly on a Vanilla, Burn Crusade, and Lich King. It was main part probably. Then I played a bit of Cataclysm, and that's it. So I played a bit of a free part of Modern WoW, and I didn't like it that much. So I don't know. It was very complicated. I was dropped straight into some quests where they ruined the main story, so it wasn't possible to start normally from old locations and just play through all the expansions. That's what I would like. You're forced to fight in this Battle of Azeroth stuff, and I'm not interested. I don't know who all these people. Why is the fight? I don't care. Just give me the beginning of the story, not in the middle of it. It was not really cool. Hardcore servers soon? I will be drowned in it. Like, what's the point? Hardcore server also. The thing is, they would not go through it. I would maybe play it, like, for me, WoW is pretty interesting anyway. I'm not really like their lore that much. That's probably the only things that make it not that interesting for me. But what they will do, when there will be updates, it's very unclear what they will do with Classic. I already know that they go in a bit wrong way, and it's unclear will they continue normally with Cataclysm or not. Because next update should be Cataclysm. Will they do it or not? Because logic is they should continue, but the whole reason why Classic exists is because they stopped with Cataclysm. For the fun of it, do you understand how many hours I need to complete it? to complete vanilla Burn Crusader quests, the rest of the Lich King quests. It's all so many hundreds of hours. And the thing is, when I will stream it, I will see it under hundreds of streamers that already stream for many years. Some of them streamed only WoW for many years. No one will see me. I will sit alone with a couple of you guys and we'll just doing what? Listen how I'm reading quests? Well, maybe YouTube can work with this, but starting something like this is pretty risky for me as a streamer. And also it's questionable would it be that enjoyable or not. Probably it will be interesting because I play it a bit solo and I like it. Kinda doing this quest, exploring the world with some add-ons, it's pretty enjoyable because you can upgrade the combat system a lot by adding a few upgrades when you don't need to hold buttons to move around, when you don't need to target things. You just playing like first person or third person dynamic game for the rogue, especially using stealth and everything. It's actually pretty nice. But what? AI voice? What? Wait a second, when? You mean modern WoW or what? I didn't hear about this update. I tried to use just out of curiosity the mod that just voiced everything by not AI but by standard like Google stuff, Google Voice or whatever. It sounds very weird, so I just laughed on it and disabled it. But I didn't say that we have some reading or whatever. Like, is it some good reading or what it is? Also, it's a questionable what people watching. I think people mostly watching PvP in there and some, I don't know, dungeon and maybe, because I'm not really interested in this stuff. I mean, PvP is interesting, but playing Battlegrounds 24 hours, 7 days? No, thanks. GPT was overdone. Didn't hear about it. Maybe it doesn't work for Classic, but anyway. I don't know, I like reading actually. It's good for learning skills. I'm also fine with it, absolutely, why not? So, I don't know. Well, GPT may be better. I have no idea how it works. I saw someone using some voicing of replays. Someone making videos of based on Warcraft 3, and all the characters voiced with similar voices, but obviously a bit robotic. Maybe it was it. Like all the characters have Russian voices and similar, but maybe it was some kind of Yannick's voice, or I don't know what it is. It sounds funny. So I don't know. Maybe it's GPT, maybe something else. Anyway, it could be interesting, but the question is, first of all, it's for years. To finish the stuff, it's many months, even classic version. And go into something like this, with the same success, I could start Elder Scrolls Online, for example. There are so many quests here and everything. And I streamed it actually for some time in the past. But it was a tough situation for me. I ran out of subscription. It wasn't possible to even continue it. It was exactly when all this war started. So I eventually just stopped and didn't return. And I focused on Mortal, that I actually was more interested anyway. So here I am. And I want to stream some different games, not only just WoW and Mortal. So I don't know. Is this dead? Well, game cannot be dead when you play in story, you know? You can just play solo. That's exactly what was interesting for me. What was not interesting is combat system. It's just terrible. You just have zero change. Absolutely zero change. It's like Diablo 3 on normal difficulty right now. You're just killing everything by just staring at it. Just pressing a couple of buttons, everything done, and you're just walking from one quest to another. And it's not changing at all. Actually, part is the same in World of Warcraft. Like, doing quests is not really that changing. At least in in Vanilla and Burn Crusade. Only some quests can be changed really. But still, yeah, if you aggro too many mobs, you will die. And in many situations you need it. Yeah, combat, I was so sleepy sometimes on streams. Like when I was sleepy overall without proper sleep. And I started my day from streaming Elder Scrolls Online, damn, it sometimes was so hard. Like it's basically, yeah, becoming sleepy by just walking and hitting things and everything. As Glandi, mostly you don't need to grind anything, that was a plus. But still, the same fights was the same. At least I found a combination of skills when you teleport and hit, and it's just everything dying instantly. And you can just basically skip all the combat by using this. Like any boss, you listen for like a minute how dangerous the dude is, and then you encounter him and kill him in 2 seconds without any change, and well, listen, next story. It was strange. If only there would be like option like hardcore mode, so all the creatures becoming like at least twice harder, that would be decent maybe. Like I don't know why they don't do it, because basically it's scaling, they have formulas for everything, so why not allow players to actually choose this option who want and just enjoy the game? Because if the game would be changing, damn, I would play it gladly, because I like the atmosphere there. I like how many details they put into everything. Like it's the lore of Elder Scrolls Online, one of my favorite, and it's a lot of lore, a lot of stories, a lot of characters, amazing voiceover, everything voiced. It's so good. So many books, so many notes, so many everything. It's very immersive to play just first person and walking everywhere there. But combat, loot system and combat are broken there. And loot system is partly fine, but combat, nope. So yeah, it would be cool to have something like this option. Maybe the devs will finally do it, but for now they didn't. Anyway, yeah. Okay, I need to focus on Diablo 4 story, main story, just do it, and then I will decide what to do with that. Because my original plan was to do just quest stories, and maybe it will be fine. Maybe on endgame it will be way more interesting, because I will get some normal loot finally. And this way, because if the loot system would be better, I wouldn't complain at all, I think, because it would be at least something to drive me to continue playing actively, killing these thousands of mobs. So maybe it will become better. Best game for monsters and lore of Star Citizen? What? Are you sure? Like lore in Star Citizen? Well, sure, in Mortal we're getting some lore made by players, like lizard people in Monaguild, or people who searching for Kutara cellar with slave children, etc. But, well, it's not like it's real lore, but I don't know. Not sure about, I actually don't know anything about the lore of Star Citizens. It's just, I know, do we have any lore? Like, yes, they have some lore of some alien race, of some bandits of different types, but what outside of it? And just a little bit of lore that you can probably read somewhere, but yeah, but can you please enlighten why many don't know that? Because I played 2 times in it in different periods, and there were no lore inside. So, like, it was possible to talk to barman or something to get a little bits of information, but it was a little bit. Just a tiny few paragraphs. It's nothing. So, I don't know. I know that they're working on lore. I know that there will be story mode and there will be a lot of lore ended, but when it will be? It's like in Mortal we potentially have many bits of lore, but it's not in game. And so separated, split it, sometimes was mentioned, etc. So eventually not getting much lore. and the world still is pure sandbox for now. We finally getting some bits of notes and everything, but it's not much. So I'm not sure what is in Star Citizen. Not sure what will be. Yeah, I'm talking too much today. Almost 9 hours. It's over 9,000. Tuesday. Oh. Wait a second. You mean official podcast? Because I think I'm subscribed on their YouTube, but I don't remember that they're releasing every week. It is some guy who somehow knows the lore, but where he's getting the lore. Like how it works. I would gladly search for lore in everything Star Citizen. I'm really waiting when it will be interesting to do exploration part. When you can just fly on any planet, find many, I know, bases, caves, camps, whatever, find some objects, ruins, something. So you can travel through it, do the exploration, also meet some people on the way, participate in different things, etc. It would be cool. The potential of this game is amazing. But when it will be released? Yeah, of course, it's possible to start playing way before release, but for now it's still, I think, not really playable. Like, you can enjoy it for some days, but you need to learn a lot of things, and learn them for just few days or maybe weeks of gameplay make not much sense to me. Yeah, obviously. Logically, we should wait for beta. Like, when finally the game basically will be completed in its core. And it will be a full-scale MMO. And then only it will be really playable. But obviously, many people will start playing, but actually it will make world alive. So it should be good. But I think we're still couple of years before it, at least. Yes, this will be years. But there will be no mission and everything before beta, I think. Like, they will launch the whole server only their beta, but maybe not. Another question, logic is they need to test the whole server with all the features. And they need to do it without before the wipe. They should do wipe after it, because they need to test many things that obviously will be broken. And only then should start the full-scale version. So it's maybe will be alpha actually, not beta. Because beta logically will mean no vibes, because I doubt that they will wait for full release. They probably will start on beta. Beta will mean that the game have bugs, but it function and there will be no wipes. Because if they would do wipe, but still they can call it beta and just make wipe after. It's also possible, I don't know. But yeah, we need to wait for some kind of stable version when all the core things will be fixed. AI still, as far as I know, not good. So they also need to fix it. Previously, last time I played it didn't work at all. Like, things were barely possible to move a bit and shoot from time to time, but it was so terrible. Now it should be better after 18 update, but we'll see. For now it's still a bit unfinished, but we'll see. They're pretty close to make it playable, but I think it's probably too early to play actively. But we'll see. Wait a second, did they tell anything about when the mission will be complete? Like, will it be the next big update, or what it will be, when it will be? Like, obviously they're not given any dates, but is it kind of next update or close to it or it's somewhere in future. Because if they're already doing it, this logically means that they're close to it. So maybe it makes sense to try it right after. If this will be like next update or one of the closest. Because yeah, it should be already kind of playable. At least it should be fine to test it and then start to return each update. Something like this maybe. It mostly depends how many players will be and will they play actively, because obviously not much content in game so far, and until there will be enough players to actually spend some time with them, some use VoIP and everything, the game will run out of content very fast without that. So potentially next year. If they plan for first quarter, it probably will be at best second quarter, but at least it should be next year. Okay. Yeah, it's similar to Epic Release. Well, Epic Release is Epic Release, but 30 Control already should add loads, so it will be at least some big update. But okay, so next year. Well, maybe next year. Starfield will be this year at least. Some space game. When I will become tired of Starfield, it would be possible to switch to Star Citizen, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, let's finish for today. I get way more fun from this short dialogue with you guys than from all the stream of Diablo 4 today. Wow. That's just how it is. Yeah, Starfield definitely content for months, but wow, if they would not ruin it with a very bad release, because many games are ruined now, hopefully, even if it will be ruined, they will fix it fast. But we'll see. Anyway, there will be a lot of things to play this year, in the second part of the year, so yeah. We definitely will not be bored. I also have a lot of things to finish from small games and different games that I missed, because I'm playing damn Elden Ring and Diablo 4 for a long time already, so yeah. It's not about design mistake, it's about the stupidity of characters and everything happens around, but wow, okay. Yeah, I just need to run through the story and try to enjoy it. And maybe it will be enjoyable, like some games or stories or movies, whatever, can be not good at the beginning, but can become way better after, so we'll see. Anyway, thank you for watching, see you next time, so bye bye and good night.